This is our moment.
I'm your host, Corey Phillips.
Time to be great than today.
Offtop podcast.
It's a play. Bryant for the lead. Yes!
Time! What up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome back. Offtop podcast. What's going on, guys? I missed you guys. It's been a couple weeks. How's everybody doing out there? This is your man, Corey Phillips, Offtop podcast. We are on Instagram, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Any of the major platforms are out there. Please tune in, subscribe, like the page, share the page. What's going on? I hope you guys had a good holiday, Christmas, and New Year's. I know I did. A lot of family in town. A lot of canceled flights. Christmas presents galore. New Year's Eve and New Year's Day madness. Working, sick kids, you name it. I went through it all over the holidays. I'm glad the holidays are over. Hey, I love my family. Don't get it twisted. I will always love my family, and they will always come first. But, Christmas, between trying to manage that time with your family and working, it's difficult. And then Christmas shopping and all that, because, you know me, I didn't get all my Christmas shopping done like I should have. You know what I mean? Like, I waited. There was a few days there where I was scrambling, trying to get these last-minute gifts. Luckily, thank goodness for Amazon. I love you, Amazon. You will always be in my heart when it comes to getting gifts in a timely fashion. Big shout out to Macy's as well. Hooked me up before Christmas Eve. But I hope everybody had a good holiday season. As we roll into the new year 2022, we got some action. We got action. We're going to talk about it all. NFL playoffs are here. This is my favorite time of year, NFL playoffs. After we just got through with the longest NFL season of all time, 18 weeks of pure action. We are rolling into NFL playoff weekend. Got some matchups Saturday, Sunday, and a new one on Monday. First time ever playoff game on Monday. We'll get into that. National championship game last night. What a hell of a game. We'll also talk about week 18, of the NFL season, as the NFL, I got to give it up to them. Big shout out, big props for adding this extra game and adjusting the playoff system as it is, because there was some drama going into that final game on Sunday Night Football, and we'll get into that. We got Book of Boba Fett tonight. I'm going to get into that. Episode 3, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about episode 2, because we haven't talked about it since the last episode, since the last show. We were just getting into it. Oh, my phone is going off. Book of Boba Fett. We're going to talk about Scream. That's my new movie review. I'm going to see that this weekend. It's gotten a lot of good reviews. The embargo was lifted, and a lot of really, really good reviews on Scream, which I am honestly shocked. Surprisingly shocked that this movie is getting a lot of hype as it is. They didn't push it back like they did Morbius. We'll get into that. But tonight, I'm going to start off with. Also, I'm going to make my NFL playoff weekend picks for this wildcard weekend. I'll make all the picks. You can comment and see if you agree, disagree on my picks. I don't give a damn. They're my picks. They're Corey's picks for the NFL weekend. So, but you can have your opinion. That's what the show is all about. It's objective. Everybody can have their opinion on it. I'm just going to tell you, I got 2 upset specials that some people might not like coming up this weekend. Cameraman Carson's on the camera. I got my boy Zach here on the 1s and 2s. First off, we're going to get into some NBA, because I got to talk about one guy. And that's my guy, John Morant. Now, before the show came on the air tonight, We had a game between the Memphis Grizzlies and the Brooklyn Nets. Or not the Brooklyn Nets. I got the hat on. The Memphis Grizzlies and the Golden State Warriors tonight. Obviously, we know the big hype. Klay Thompson's back. This is his third game back after he's been out of the league for what? Almost 2 years? A year and a half at least. He missed all of last season. He's missed the first few months of this season. Came back on, was it Saturday? Yeah, he came back. He came back Sunday against Cleveland, and then I believe it was Monday on the. No, maybe it was Saturday against Cleveland, Sunday against Brooklyn. Yes, that's right. Saturday against Cleveland, Sunday against Brooklyn, and then tonight against Memphis. Now, Grizzlies win tonight, 116-108. The Grizzlies led for a majority of this game tonight. And the reason why I'm talking about this game, because these are two of the top teams in the West right now. A lot of people don't know the Grizzlies have won 10. If you haven't known, if you've been on the rock, the Grizzlies have won 10 in a row, including tonight. They haven't lost a game since December 23rd. And I'm here to tell you right here, right now, that John Morant, that man, he's like a pogo stick, bro. And he went out with injury during this game. He started off early. He was lighting it up as usual. Went out with an ankle injury. Came back in like the end of the third, the orderly fourth quarter. And he had a game-winning clutch shot and with the and one, drove it to the hole to seal and ice the game. But John Morant, right now, the MVP race in this league, it's a two-man race right now. Now, you got to remember, we're almost halfway through the NBA season. Can you believe it? Like, most of these teams have played 40 to 42 games already. It's flown by because we've been so consumed and so caught up with the NFL, college football. But, I mean, the Warriors are sitting at 30-10 on the season. They have the second best record in the NBA. Phoenix has the best record in the NBA right now, the 2-game lead over Golden State. But the Grizzlies are 29-14. They've won 10 straight. And John Morant is in the middle of that. Now, that draft, he came out in the same draft as Zion Williamson, if I'm correct. And Zion Williamson was the guy, was the hyped number one overall draft pick. We haven't seen Zion Williamson in months. John Morant plays every night, plays hard, he's efficient, he can take you to the hole, he can shoot the outside jumper, he plays defense, and he's a leader on this team. And when you're playing the way he's playing right now, to me, the MVP race right now at this point is a two-man race between him and DeMar DeRozan and the Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls are playing excellent basketball as well. But this is the game of the night, obviously. Right now, we got one game in progress. The Nuggets and the Clippers right now are on NBA TV. It's in the fourth quarter. Nuggets are leading the Clippers 81-79. We'll keep track of that. The Bulls, like I mentioned, blowout win tonight, 133-87 over the Detroit Pistons. That's insane. You win by 46 points. Like, I'm not even gonna. I mean, I can look up the numbers, but I mean, you have Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan and my boy Alex Caruso on the same team, and give out props. My boy Alex Caruso, I am so pissed that the Lakers even gave him up. But Alex Caruso, he can do it all, man. I'm telling you, it was a big pickup. I was very disappointed in the Lakers when that happened. But big shout out to Chicago Bulls. Some other games that happened tonight. Pelicans with the win, 128-125 over the Timberwolves. The Wizards have been playing surprisingly good basketball this season. They are a game over 500. Kyle Kuzma leading the Wizards to a 122-118 victory over the Thunder. Kyle Kuzma, 29 points, 5 rebounds. And I already told you about the Grizzlies. John Morant, 29 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. Steph Curry, triple-double, 27, 10, and 10. That's Steph Curry's 9th career triple-double. He's had 2 this season. Steph Curry, I mean, the reason why the Warriors lost this game tonight, I believe, is because Draymond Green wasn't in the lineup. Draymond Green's your defensive leader. I mean, you got Klay Thompson on a minutes restriction. He only had 16 points tonight. He came in late in the fourth quarter, but Draymond Green is the type of player that sets up. He's going to be your defensive player of the year again, because he's the type of player that sets up for Klay and Steph and everything around you. Andrew Wiggins is not going to be your answer. I mean, if Draymond Green was in the lineup, it would probably be a different result because he's able to neutralize some of the scoring that's coming from John Morant because they don't have a lot of other shooters on that team. But John Morant took advantage of no Draymond Green. They lack defensively because, let's be honest, that Steph Curry can play defense, but he doesn't play it all the time. And the other game that happened tonight, Suns with the 99-95 victory over the Toronto Raptors. Chris Paul, 15 points, 12 rebounds. Suns hold a tight grip. Not even a tight grip. It's a very loose grip. They only have a game up on the Warriors for the best record in the West and in the NBA right now. But the Memphis Grizzlies are something to behold. I'm telling you right now, Memphis Grizzlies are going to be a team to watch. If they make the playoffs, which they are because they're the 4th seed right now, I don't see them slowing down, barring injury. And if John Morant can keep up with this pace, he is going to be your next superstar and your next MVP. Guarantee it. The way he's playing right now is on a whole new level. You could give it to Steph if you want. Yeah, Steph. Okay, we've already been through that song and dance before. Yeah, he's shooting great. Cool. That's great. You can give it to Durant. He's playing well. Yeah, Durant. Yeah, he's good. You know. Durant, it's Durant. But again, another guy we've already been through this song. Is he impressing you? This is nothing new with Kevin Durant or Steph Curry, what they're doing. But not a lot of people were looking at John Morant like this, and he is balling right now. So we will keep a close eye on that. I don't know if anybody watched the college football national championship yesterday, if you were under a rock or something like that, or you were just at work, or I don't know what you were doing. But Georgia with the 33-18 win to win the national championship. Me personally, I was cheering for Georgia. I'm not a big Nick Saban fan. If anybody knows me, you know I haven't been a big Nick Saban fan since he was at LSU. Whatever. A couple of things to take away from this. This was a defensive battle for 3 quarters. Very low scoring. I mean, what was the score at halftime? 9-6? I was watching it with a buddy of mine, and I did mention to him that the key to this game is going to be somebody's going to make a mistake. There will be a turnover involved that's going to switch the momentum of this game. And we got it. That's all it was. I mean, the touchdown. I mean, you're dealing with 2 elite defenses with Georgia and Alabama. You have players on these defenses that can go into the NFL tomorrow and be starters in that league. So when you take that into account, there are not a lot of good. The quarterback play is a quarterback play. I mean, do I think Bennett is an NFL quarterback? He could be with some, if he got with the right coaches. Maybe he worked on his mechanics a little bit. Looking for the check down receiver a little bit more instead of airing it down the sideline, because that's where a lot of his throws were down the sideline. He doesn't work the middle of the field very much. This is one of my biggest complaints about Russell Wilson. He doesn't work the middle of the field. Why do you need to work the sideline all the time? Defenses are going to key up on that. But I think on the Alabama side, they were missing their best wide receiver, which then limited them to what they can do offensively. They don't run the ball very well. I am happy for Kirby Smart, because every single time he has met Nick Saban, he's gotten his ass kicked. So this was one that I mean, the Bulldogs haven't won a national championship in over 40 years. So this was like...
What the quarterback?
With the quarterback? You talking about Bennett?
The walk-on.
Stetton Bennett? What is his name? Stetson Bennett. Yeah, he's a walk-on. He was third stringer. That's what I'm saying. He's not. In other national championship games, we've had some of the best quarterbacks that played on there. You see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you can go last year or the year before or the year before that. We've had some elite quarterback play that had led them into the NFL. Do I think he's can he be an NFL quarterback? Sure. If he worked on, like I said, his mechanics, his vision, because there are some certain plays where he got lucky that the defenders weren't keying in on his eyes because he was looking at, on certain plays, he was just looking at one player down the field. And I'm like, bro, you cannot let them see you doing that. He doesn't work the middle of the field as much. That's what my biggest problem was. Defense was the key to this game and the Georgia winning. So congratulations to the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, will they be the favorite next year? Who knows? I mean, I don't know if some of these players are going to be getting into the draft. I know one thing, though. Alabama is going to be changing as far as their play. Because Alabama, I don't even think they're they'll probably be barely a top 10 program going into next season. Because they're going to lose some of these players to the draft this year. Just wait till April.
It's Bama.
I know it's Bama, but there's only, when you lose a game like this, it might hurt your recruiting a little bit. I'm just saying. Changes with the coaching changes coming in to the league and all that, and you got
lost to a walk-on.
That's what I'm saying. There is some issues going on with that program. Do I think they'll be there at the end? Sure, but this is going to hurt them in recruiting in some sort of capacity because there's going to be holes in either on the offensive side or the defensive side that are going to hurt them. Now, Bryce Young, does he go into the NFL? Do you think he's an NFL quarterback right now? He's undersized. Kyler Murray's bigger than him. And Kyler Murray's undersized. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go as far as say he reminds me of Russell Wilson, but because Russell Wilson's I think he's slightly taller. But, these are some big dudes on that offensive line in the NFL. How the hell is he going to see over these guys? And then just after the performance that we saw on Monday, I don't know if he does go into the draft. I don't know what his draft stock would be. He's definitely not a first rounder at all. Maybe third round at best. You got to find a team that's gonna use him to his skill set.
But he's a Heisman.
That's fine. He can be a Heisman, but not all Heisman players work out. Look at Ryan Leaf.
Matt Leinart.
Reggie Bush. But they're still going to get drafted early.
Yeah, but, are you drafting to get a higher draft pick to get some money, or are you trying to win a championship? There's a difference between the two. This is what I talk about with Bobby Wagner. Seahawks got some decisions to make. I wasn't going to get into them, but since we're on the subject, Seahawks got some decisions to make here. We saw Penny over these last 4 or 5 games, and he's averaging over 120 yards a game. Do you trust him moving forward? Can you trust Chris Carson moving forward? You can't. So what do you do? Because he's going to get offered some money. And in the Seahawks, I see now what the Seahawks saw in him, why he got drafted so early. He is super talented. Super talented. The dude ran for 190 yards in Week 18 against Arizona. A defense that's pretty good. He ran for 190 yards. So that's one decision. Bobby Wagner, he's owed about $19 million next season.
What, him and Russ make up 50 together?
Now, you gotta... you have to look at... he's got two options. Either he's going to want to keep his money and go elsewhere, or he'll take it. He's going to get his contract restructured to stay on there. It's one of the two. We're going to find out what type of where Bobby Wagner lies in that. Does he take the money and run, or does he think that this team, if they make some changes, can get back to that playoff stature that the Seahawks have been for the last 10 years? I don't know what he's gonna do, but I don't even have a gut feeling on it right now, because I could see him leaving. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if he left. Now, do I think the Seahawks organization as a whole is going to keep it together? Look, ownership, John Schneider, Pete Carroll, I don't think any of these guys are going. I think what they're going to look at it is this situation here this past season was a one-year aberration. They've been in the playoffs for 10 freaking straight years. They have gone to 2 Super Bowls. They've won the NFC West 5 times. So you're telling me after one season that Paul Allen's daughter, is it Heidi or is it, I can't remember her name. She's running the organization. She just gave Pete Carroll a contract extension last year before the start of this season for 5 years. So he's here till 2028 or 2027. No, John Schneider's here till 2028 because he got a contract extension too. So my point is, do you think, and people are like, maybe she has people that work in the NFL that, what people does she have? What does she know about all this stuff? This is her first full year running the team. Well, she may have some people that she can talk, like what people? Tell me what people that she has that's communicating with her about a day-to-day operations of the NFL team. That she knows to make a move or to get this player or get that player or bring these coaches on or bring this personnel on. She doesn't. You let John Schneider do his thing because he's been good at what he's been doing. This is a one-off for the Seahawks. Now, if this continues next year, then we have a serious problem. I mean, you gotta move forward.
What about the Steve Ballmer rumors?
What about the Steve Ballmer rumors?
Well, what if Ballmer wants to buy out the team?
He's not gonna buy out the team. Not happening. I don't think so. But I mean, I could be wrong. I just don't see it.
He's got the cash flow.
Okay, that's fine. He would have bought him a long time ago. Paul Allen has had this team forever.
But it hasn't been bad until now.
But it's not Paul Allen's team anymore.
He left it in the hands of his daughter. And one bad season, and I can't believe it's hellfire and brimstone all over Seattle. I just fail to believe it.
That's all what I'm saying.
I just think that you wait, you see what happens next year. Obviously, we're gonna have to make some moves. Obviously, we don't have draft picks. Diggs had that gruesome injury on Sunday, and he's probably done, and he's a free agent. We're going to have to think about, we need help in the secondary. We need help in the pass rush. I think they need to get one more receiver. And maybe you do stick it out with Rashad Penny, and then you also bring back a veteran as well. I don't trust Chris Carson to run for at least 8 games next season. He just can't stay healthy. When he's on the field, he's amazing, but he can't stay healthy. And me personally, as a fantasy football owner of his, in 2 of my leagues, I was highly disappointed. That's some bullshit. But anyway, I wasn't getting into that.
Will Bobby Wagner be a Seahawk? Yes.
Hey, you guys comment and let me know if you think Bobby Wagner will be a Seahawk next year. I'm leaning towards yes. Comment on the page. I'll put it up on Facebook. Do you think Bobby Wagner will be on a Seahawks uniform next year? And if he's not, where else is he going? Where is he going? I mean, we saw how that worked out for Bruce Irvin.
Don't put those two in the same conversation.
Well, I'm just saying, we've had other players that left. Who was the other one? KJ Wright?
Richard Sherman was a Pro Bowler still after he left.
Come on.
So was Earl Thomas. For at least 1 year.
Man. I just don't get it. Just something about it. But anyway, from one NFL subject to another, I am going to go. It's NFL wildcard weekend. It's my favorite weekend of the year. This year is going to be unlike any other because there are 6 wildcard games this year. One on Monday, which is the first time it's ever happened. So I'll go through the matchups. After a wild Week 18 where there was playoff implications galore, obviously, if you don't know, the Steelers made the playoffs due to their win. The Colts losing to Jacksonville. What a disappointment that the Indianapolis Colts were. They were my sleeper pick. And that just goes to show you cannot trust Carson Wentz worth a damn. I mean, he just lets you down in every turn. How are you going to lose to Jacksonville on the last week of the season? The playoff, you control your own destiny. All you have to do is win. Buffalo won. Baltimore lost. The Steelers got in. Why? The only thing that was keeping them from getting in is if Vegas and the LA Chargers were going to tie, which almost happened on Sunday night. It was so close. Literally by 35 seconds, that game was away from tying and Pittsburgh would have been out. But the Raiders get the last minute field goal. Now the Raiders are going to play Cincinnati while Pittsburgh gets, you get the consolation prize of playing Kansas City in the wild card game. So there you got it. Saturday.
Hey, but what if they lose?
Who loses?
Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Big Ben's final push for a title?
Okay,
Exactly.
I think something's wrong with my camera guy because he just mentioned that he thought there was a shot that Pittsburgh was going to beat Kansas City on the road in Arrowhead. But anyway, let me run down the list because I don't understand that. Saturday, these are all Pacific time games that I'm going to list off here. Game 1. Las Vegas Raiders versus the Cincinnati Bengals. That's at 1:30 on NBC. Congratulations, Raiders. You guys made it in. That was a hell of a game you played against San Diego. San Diego made a lot of... I keep saying San Diego. The LA Chargers made a lot of mistakes that I saw. I watched that game. I watched that game from start to finish. Listen. There's only so many times you can have a big lead and try to come back. I mean, they've had 5 comeback wins this past season. That's fantastic. That offense is elite when they're on. But did you see how the Raiders were playing defense in the secondary? A lot of zone, fake blitzes, and then moving back in the zone. Then you had your pass rush. The pass rush is the key to everything. Because Justin Herbert... He was tap dancing like Gregory Hines back there. Didn't know what to do. They were getting lucky. First down, second down, third down. All pass plays. Either drop passes or getting incomplete. And they were getting lucky because on fourth down, either there was a pass interference call or there was a guy up the middle wide open. I don't know how many fourth downs they completed. It was a ridiculous number. But at the end of the day, the Vegas Raiders got the win. They're going to play Cincinnati. Cincinnati stomped them earlier this season. I think the score was like 32-13. And that was in the midst of the Diggs situation where he was driving, just going crazy in the Vegas streets and hit somebody, killed somebody. And in the midst of the John Gruden situation. And they were like on their downhill slide. So the Raiders have been playing fire. I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't know what the spread is on this game, but I Cincinnati at home, they're playing lights out. Joe Burrow, I mean, what can you say, man? They won the NFC North.
Cincinnati -5.5.
Yeah, I will take Cincinnati plus minus a 5.5. Offtop. All day long. Cincinnati's playing too good. The Raiders just don't have enough on offense. If Darren Waller is playing, which they didn't go to him a lot on Sunday either, but that Cincinnati Bengals, they have the offensive lines playing well. They have weapons on the outside. Joe Mixon is playing ridiculously good football, and they're at home. I'll take Cincinnati plus a 5.5.
First playoff game in how many years?
I believe it's I think it was 6 or 7 years.
Since Andy Dalton.
Yeah, and Marvin Lewis when Marvin Lewis was there. Next game is a 5:15 show between a rematch, Part 3, New England Patriots and the Buffalo Bills. Now the weather for this game is supposed to be
That's the key.
is just ridiculous. From what I saw, let me pull it up. It's supposed to be just a abundance of snow. And let's see. Looks like the Bills are a 4-point favorite at home. It's supposed to be 4 degrees at kickoff. On snow. Now, usually I would say that would play some effect on the teams, but New England's used to it. They play in Buffalo. They play in Foxborough all the time, and so is Buffalo. So it's going to come down to the running game. It's going to be exactly like it was a few weeks ago when we saw them last time. That's going to be key. Hear me out here. I'm leaning towards New England winning. Because New England's already gone in there and beaten them.
Exactly. That's why Buffalo.
And even though Buffalo is the 3, it's not really an upset to me, but on paper, because Buffalo is the 3 seed and New England is the 6 seed.
Yeah.
And I'm taking New England plus 4 on the road on the Sunday night game. Now, these are 2 quarterbacks that haven't tasted the playoffs. So it's going to come down to coaching. And it's going to come down to run game and defense. And who knows that better than Bill Belichick?
Josh Allen's been in the playoffs. Remember the playoffs?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm thinking Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Why don't I think Joe Burrow? Josh Allen has been in the playoffs, but, has he gone up against a mastermind in the playoffs?
Like Mac Jones ain't ever played in a playoff game.
But it's not going to matter if he ain't throwing the ball. That's what I'm saying.
That's true.
I'm taking New England plus 4 in the game. Okay.
Whoa.
That's one of my upset. That's one of my upsets.
Bold claim.
That is a bold claim.
That's one of my.
You know what?
That
if anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be Mac Jones.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm taking New England plus 4.5 in that game.
I hope that happens.
That's one of my upsets. That's upset number 1. All right, those are the 2 games on Saturday. Sunday, starting 10 a.m. is the Philadelphia Eagles and the Tampa Bay Bucks. Now, despite the injuries of Chris Godwin and Leonard Fournette, this is Tom Brady we're talking about here. At home, you still got Mike Evans. You still got Ronald Jones. You still got an elite defense. Against a Philadelphia squad that, quite frankly, is not a good matchup from them. But I'm rolling with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't know what the spread is on that. Let me check it one more time.
You should just bet $10 on Philadelphia for good luck.
I am rolling with New England full throttle in this game. And that's going to be on Fox. The spread is 8.5. So I'm going to take Tampa Bay plus the 8.5. It'll be interesting to see the injury report right now. Lance Johnson, which is their offensive tackle, is a huge loss, and Brett Toth is on injury reserve.
Think about how much COVID's going through right now.
That might be an impact. That's going to be an impact. Jason Pierre-Paul is questionable before the game. They don't really have a lot of injuries except for their lower tier wide receivers. You're still going to have Gronk. You're still going to have O.J. Howard. You're still going to have Mike Evans. So I think New England will win this handily on Sunday. The afternoon game is the afternoon game at 1:30, and this is my second upset of the week.
Go fuck
Is
yourself right
is the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys.
Are you kidding
Here we
me?
go. Carson, listen.
It's the Niners. They're trash.
You're not hearing what I'm saying.
Let me hear what you have to say.
So, the 49ers have been playing really... You were catching the 49ers at the wrong time.
Oh.
You were catching the 49ers at the very wrong time. You remember, Garoppolo has been in this position before. They just went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Deebo Samuel is playing out of his mind. And I don't see the consistency that these Cowboy fans are blinded by and see every week, because it's always something. It's always something.
It's always offense. What do you mean?
What do you mean? There's no offense.
Exactly.
They don't know what they're... They
the
don't.
offense
Here's
is
the
either
problem.
good or bad, but the defense is always there.
It's still mediocre.
Here. And you guys, you have to excuse my friend here. He's not listening to what I'm saying, so I'm going to tell you. I don't see the consistency, whether it's a running game or in the passing game.
No, that's fair. Offense, fine.
It's the offense.
The offense is the problem, 100%.
The 49ers have an elite defense. You know that can give Dak Prescott some problems. Deebo Samuel is good. We already know that. George Kittle. How are you going to stop George Kittle, man? I'm just saying, they're playing on all cylinders right now. They beat the Rams in overtime. My Rams in overtime. I was pissed off. But you're catching them at the wrong time. When that game was scheduled, the moment I said that, I was just like, oh my God, Carson's going to flip. You're catching them at the wrong time. Upset special number 2. I am rolling. Let's see what the spread is. That's the part this is the part that's funny. This is the part.
Dallas -3.
Exactly. You're only getting a 3-point spread at home. Y'all are losing that game. I'm taking San Francisco plus the 3. Hands down. Jimmy Garoppolo is not making mistakes. And as hard as it pains me, I don't like.
Can't wait till next week.
I don't like either one of these teams.
Let
Let me tell people at home, you guys fans at home, I have never been a fan of the San Francisco 49ers or the Dallas Cowboys. These are two of the elite of the NFL. In NFL lore. When you think of the NFL, there's only 3 teams you really think about. Well, maybe 4. You think the 49ers, you think of the Cowboys, Packers, and you think of the Raiders.
The Steelers?
And the Steelers,
I was
too.
going to say the Patriots.
No, you don't really think. No, well, as a recent memory,
really.
I'm saying over the course of the expansion to where the NFL is the NFL.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yes. Okay, so those are your top 5 teams that you think of that are associated with the NFL. Out of any other team. Yeah, you think of the Patriots because they're the only team. I mean, they've won the most Super Bowls in recent memory.
True. Last time I checked, Green Bay's got like 18 titles, though.
Right. And more than likely, they're going to add to that this year. But anyway, we'll get to that in a second. That's my upset special. And I know, Carson, I know you're a fanboy of the Cowboys. I mean, but jeez, it's insane. I mean, Trayvon Diggs is questionable. Tony Pollard is questionable, so that even hurts your secondary. If Trayvon Diggs doesn't play, which he probably will, he won't be 100%, but he probably will. That's going to hurt you. And they're going to exploit that. Obviously, Garoppolo is questionable. Elijah Mitchell's questionable. Trent Williams is questionable. They're always on. Marcel Harris, they're always on the injury reserve because they're playing through it. They're playing hurt. But I'm telling you right now, the running game is going to be the key to all this. And if you can somehow neutralize Jimmy Garoppolo, Deebo Samuel, I don't understand you know what you're dealing with Deebo Samuel. This dude is a running back wide receiver-esque type. He can do it all. He's got the most rushing touchdowns for a wide receiver this year, or in NFL history. He's got 6.
Modern day Percy Hartman.
You add on another 10 receiving touchdowns, you have an MVP candidate in Deebo Samuel. I don't know how the Cowboys are going to be able to stop that. I know we'll see, but that's my upset special. The Cowboys are the higher seed. The Cowboys are favored by 3. Upset special. I'm taking the 49ers plus the 3. You can flip me off all you want. It's all good. It's all good. I ain't tripping off of that. So I'm sticking with it. Next game, kind of alluded to it. I mean, just a touch, but I mean, hey, this is Ben Roethlisberger, the Pittsburgh Steelers going to Arrowhead against Kansas City. I mean, come on. I just, yay, Ben. I mean, hey, I'm glad for Ben. We get to see him play one more game, and then he's probably done after this.
For sure.
But I mean, if the role was reversed and if the Chargers won that game, Pittsburgh would be going to Cincinnati instead of have to go to Kansas City, which would have been an easier road for the Steelers. Now, do I think the Steelers are going to give a fight? Because that Kansas City defense has been playing better lately, but there's still holes in that defense. Do I think Steelers are going to make a game of it? Absolutely. Do I think the Steelers are going to win? No way. I think at the end of the day, Garoppolo. Mahomes, who has been playing lights out these last 4 or 5 weeks, is going to have another game. I mean, the spread should tell you all you need to know. The Chiefs are favored by 12.5. They are. I mean, Vegas is giving them absolutely no shot with the 64.5 over under. I mean, Vegas is giving the Steelers no chance.
That's the game you put $10 on for shits and giggles.
I mean, here's the thing though. The Steelers have weapons on the outside. Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, that tight end, I forgot his name. He's got some Herbert or Ferbers or whatever his name is. Yeah, he's good. And then you have Najee Harris, who is a beast running back. But then you look on the other side, you flip that coin, and you got KC with all their weapons, and they're playing on all cylinders right now. And they're at home. I'm taking the Chiefs minus the 12.5. But I think it'll be actually. I think it'll be a closer game than 12.5. I'll take the. I'll take the Steelers plus the points, because I think it'll be closer than that. But I'm still taking the Chiefs as a victory. Okay. So that's that game, and then of course Monday. That's the 3 games. So those 3 games are on Sunday. The morning game, Philly at Tampa. Then you have the afternoon card, San Francisco versus Dallas from Jerry's Playpen. And then the third wild card game will be on Sunday Night Football at 5:30, Pittsburgh and Kansas City. But then you add the best game of the week. The game everybody's going to be looking for. The game will be on ESPN. And that's at 5:15 on Monday, and that's Arizona versus the Rams. Yes. The Rams, as we all know, have won the NFC West for the first time in several years. I myself am very proud of this team and what they have accomplished this year, and I think the job's not done. I think this is the road to the playoffs, to the Super Bowl for the Rams. I don't know if they'll make it, but I'm sure as hell going to be cheering for them. Obviously, Arizona with that disappointing loss on Sunday to the Seahawks. They needed that win, and they needed a Rams loss for them to win the NFC West. Obviously, Arizona losing, and the Rams losing before the Arizona game was over kind of sealed the deal. But the keys to this game are going to be this. I mean, Cooper Kupp What can I say except for that guy is an MVP candidate? He has to be. He won the Triple Crown in receiving. And I don't understand why Matt Stafford ain't on his list either. I mean, that begs the question, why isn't Matt Stafford getting any MVP consideration? Why are we hearing Aaron Rodgers' name brought up? Why are we hearing Tom Brady's name brought up? Right now, if it was me right now, if I had one vote to go with, it's going to come down to Jonathan Taylor or Cooper Kupp. I mean, Jonathan Taylor had 16 rushing touchdowns and led the league in yards. And the only drawback I have of that is that they came up short and didn't make the playoffs, where the Rams are sitting at the 4 spot. The Rams are favored by 4 in this game. Chase Edmonds, Rondé Poole, and Marco Wilson are all questionable for Arizona. Matt Stafford's always questionable. And Taylor Rapp and Darius Williams are on their secondary, which are questionable. I think the Rams have too many weapons for the Arizona Cardinals to compete with. And just remember this, Cam Akers is back. You have a two-headed monster with Sony Michel and Cam Akers, along with Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee and OBJ and Van Jefferson. It's over. The Rams are winning that game. Arizona had a good run. They were 11-6 this year. Congratulations. You lose in the first round. So those are my picks. Let me run down the list. You guys comment, share. Let me know your opinions on them. I mean, I'll read them. I will read and listen to whatever comments or opinions you have on my picks. That's fine. The show is objective, but I'm going with Cincinnati with the win. I'm going with my 2 upset specials: New England beating Buffalo on the road and San Francisco beating Dallas on the road. I got Tampa Bay beating Philly. I got KC beating Pittsburgh, and I have the LA Rams beating the Arizona Cardinals. Now, as we wrap up the show, I want to talk about a couple more things. Book of Boba Fett tonight at midnight on Disney Plus, episode 3. I don't know if you saw episode 1. It was kind of, it was a setup. It's kind of, you remember the Mandalorian episode 1? You needed to set it up for previous episodes. You got a little appetizer, and then you add some meat to the bone. And you get into the meat, the potatoes of the show. I mean, we already know Book of Boba Fett's only going to be 7 episodes this season. So, episode 1 was kind of a little bit of fan service. And then it was a little bit slow. Episode 2 last week was phenomenal. Was really good. Way, I mean, it still was missing a few things, but it was way better than episode 1 the week prior. I feel like this episode tonight is going to be really good. And based on what we saw from last week. So, it's getting better. I'm excited. I'll give you my review of episode 3 next week. And then this weekend, I'm going to see Scream. And it has gotten a lot, and I mean a lot, of really, really good reviews. The one thing I saw on the embargo, when the embargo was lifted, on a lot of the reviews, bloody. That was the one word that was used a lot. New age, bloody. Still bringing back the original cast. Kind of make fun of themselves a little bit. But it's some new age slasher type shit. But a lot of blood and guts. And it was entertaining. They're saying it had some fan service in there, was good. But the movie kept pushing. Good storyline, good backstory. And there was a lot of good killer scenes in that. So, and that's, I mean, I was looking down the list of some of the people I follow on Twitter and stuff like that. All the reviews are good. And these are people that just watched it when they had the release last weekend in LA. So, it's getting a lot of rave reviews. I'm going to see it on probably Saturday nights. We'll talk about that next week. I'm a little bit disappointed that they moved back Morbius because I was really looking forward to it. It's supposed to come out this month. and I was going to go see it right before my trip to LA, and they pushed it back till April because the pandemic with the cases rising. They want to make sure this movie. Sony believes in this movie a lot, and it has a lot of connections with No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Venom movies for future movie setups, and they really believe in this movie. On top of the fact that Spider-Man is still killing it in the box office. So you combo those things. Now the release date got pushed to April 1st. So now Morbius will be opening April 1st, which I was a little bit disappointed because I was really excited for it. But that's okay. That's all right. So that being said, Scream, they were all in on their advertisement and stuff from what I read. So they had no plans of pushing this movie. I mean, it's already too late. Maybe if they had announced it a couple weeks prior, they would have pushed it, but the movie releases this week, so it's already still too late. But it's getting good reviews, so we'll talk about next week. We'll talk about Boba Fett as we're getting closer. And then there's some news about the Mandalorian. They had to delay shooting, which is now putting the Mandalorian Season 3 in some jeopardy of being released this year. It's supposed to be coming out in October. Due to COVID, again, is destroying everything. So I just found that out today that they had to stop filming. We don't know when they're going to resume filming, but it is pushing the Mandalorian to possibly a delay till the beginning of 2023, which would be really disappointing because that would just culminate my year because you got the Obi-Wan series coming out this year. Okay. Along with all the Marvel shit. And then, we'll see what happens. But that was the news that came out today. They delayed shooting, possibly delaying the start of the show. But you got the new Game of Thrones stuff that's coming out this year as well. So there's a lot of good stuff to look forward to. There's some movies that I'm really anticipating this year. I'm going to talk about that next week. There are 10 movies. And trust me, I have a big list of movies that I want to see this year. But we're going to go into my 10 movies I'm most anticipating for 2022. We're also going to recap, obviously, wildcard weekend. We'll see if I was right on... What's that?
The Cowboys winning.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we'll recap wildcard weekend and see if I was right on my sleeper picks. Hey, I'm pretty lucky in Vegas, so if you know me, take those picks to the bank. All right.
How'd your fantasy season end?
My fantasy season, I won 2 out of my 3 leagues.
Well,
The one league,
that third league.
the one league I came in second, but I did make some pretty good money over the course of 3 leagues. It's not bad.
Who did you lose to in that third
All
league?
right, Zach beat me. I made one mistake. So we don't have to bring that up. It was a great fantasy season.
Great season.
It
was a great game too.
It was a great game. It was a great season. I had a lot of fun with fantasy as I do every year. Next year I'm gonna have a league. So if anybody's interested in joining up, there's gonna be a couple changes I'm gonna make and make it a little bit better and make it so there's more people that have a chance to win money. Comment, subscribe, like the page. Give me any ideas you have on fantasy football or any league ideas for next season. I kind of have a couple ideas that I want to play around with, but we'll see. So, next week, wildcard weekend recap, top 10 movies I'm anticipating, and we'll get into some NBA stuff as we're creeping closer to the Super Bowl. We're almost here, guys. Super Bowl week. Super Bowl's coming real quick. So, until next week, like, subscribe to the page, and we'll talk next week. Peace out.